Now, this little puppy is named Drift. He's our demo dog for today. He's actually a loner puppy. He's Instructor Kim's puppy, and if you've watched the channel, you may recognize Instructor Kim, but we've borrowed him for today, and we thought he's 11 weeks old, and we thought he would be a great example for you guys because he's, this is going to be a bunch of new experiences for him, similar to the kind of experience you're going to have with your puppy. You know, all these things are a lot of firsts in your puppy's first few weeks. We're going to focus on a couple of things today, making sure that he gets enough exercise, making sure that he gets enough training and information, and that we set him up to be successful. Having a puppy in your home is a lot of work. It can be really tiring, really stressful. But if you plan things out correctly, you'll be able to give your puppy everything that they need and still be able to take care of yourself so that you're not exhausted by the end of the day.
I'm Ken Steep, and welcome back to McCann Dogs.
Here at McCann Dogs, we've helped more than 100,000 dog owners who are just like you to overcome the same dog training challenges that you have. So if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that I can help you to have a well-behaved four-legged family member. Today's video is a bit of a guideline. So we've built it so that you can take the elements from this video and apply it to your specific situation. You know, life gets in the way, family, children, activities, whatever, things come up. But if you understand the natural training opportunities that puppy ownership presents, then training doesn't feel like training anymore. Training your puppy becomes part of the routine. And this can be really, really helpful for your puppy experience. So let's get this schedule started at your puppy's first meal.
Something you're going to hear us talk a lot about, we've mentioned a lot in previous videos, is the house line. Anytime your puppy is out of their crate, they need to be wearing a house line. It's kind of like a remote management tool, and it also helps you get your puppy out of trouble should they get into it. So I'm going to put Drift on his house line and get him out of his crate here. Okay, come on. Come on. Good boy. I'm going to pop his house line on. Oh, he's having a big stretch as he comes out the door. Now here's my opportunity. I've got his house line on, I've got his meal. You can see that he's really excited about this food. This is why this opportunity is so valuable, because food is a resource that your dog really understands is valuable. You don't have to teach them to like food. Good boy. And I'm just going to do some really simple exercises with him. This does a couple of things. Number one, it teaches him to follow the food, which is going to be really helpful for some of our basic obedience training that we're going to do. But good boy. Also, if your puppy happens to sit, you can reward them for that. Maybe you might do something like lure it down. Good boy. Now, I probably shouldn't have said that word. At this point in his learning, I don't really want him to, good boy, I don't need him to be responding to those words, and I actually have to be careful that I don't water down the value of each of those words if he's not right. But what I want him to do is understand that when he moves into these positions that we're going to be teaching him eventually, that it's very rewarding. What a good boy. And just lure him around again, making it really easy for him to be successful. Now, something else we love to do with the puppies that just takes a couple of minutes, but it's really valuable down the road, is loading value on their name. And that can be as simple as saying their name, then rewarding them with a piece of food. Drift and feed. Drift and feed. Drift and feed. Good boy. Now imagine someone said your name and then gave you $20 each and every time. You'd start to really understand your name was a pretty valuable thing. Drift. Good boy. Now another thing I can do just to level it up a little bit is stand up and I'll say drift and reward him once. This time I'm going to move. Drift and back away. Yes, good boy. Drift. Yes, good boy. So I'm making it a little bit more challenging for him. It isn't that much more challenging because he's already really into this food, but I'm also starting to associate that every time I say his name, he moves towards me to get that reward. Ready? Drift. Yes, good boy. So you can just spend a couple of minutes using part of your puppy's meal, whether it's their breakfast, their lunch, or their dinner, doesn't really matter, and start to associate that name with really good things. And that's really all it takes. Now I'm going to put a little bit of water in his food. He's got the rest of his breakfast is going to be in here. And one really simple way to teach your puppy to love their crate is to feed their meals. Feed them their meals inside of them. So after that short little training session, I'm going to give him his meal inside his crate, and then Kale and I can have some breakfast, and he can just sort of hang out in his crate for a little bit. We're actually going to get into another training session in maybe an hour or so, but for now it's all about building value for the crate. So we're going to feed him inside. Okay, come back, go in. Kale. Good boy. I'm just gonna set his dinner in here, his breakfast in here. So find those kibbles. I'm gonna take my house line off. We don't want to leave that on. And then he can hang out for a bit.
Now, something you really want to keep in mind when you are house training your puppy is that the most common times that they're going to have an accident are before and after their crate, before and after a meal, after a playtime, and we've just sort of combined a couple of things. So we've let Drift finish his dinner, but we need to take him right outside so that he doesn't have an opportunity to have an accident in his crate. One thing people are often asking us is, how do I get my dog to stop begging at the table? And a surefire way to do that is to not let them make that mistake. So as Kayla and I have our breakfast here this morning, he can hang out in his crate and rest up a little bit, and then in just a short time we're going to do a little bit more training, maybe a little bit of exercise, we'll do some fun stuff. But while we're eating, and we aren't able to pay close attention to him, he's going to be in his crate. He went right in there too.
So Ken and I are getting ready for a busy day, and I think some people think that professional dog trainers can stay home and train their dogs all day, but that is certainly not the case for us. So we have a busy day planned, so we've sort of scheduled a few little training breaks and exercise breaks with little Drift here throughout the day to make sure that he's still getting enough quality time and attention with us, but then also we got some stuff to get done. So he's had his breakfast, he's already had one little training session this morning with Ken, and so now I'm gonna do a couple little fun training things with him. I'm gonna see if I can teach him to lie on this bed, and I'm gonna use a method called shaping, and we can certainly include a link on what shaping is all about in the video so that you guys can learn a bit more about it yourself. Now we have a little bit of his kibble in here, so we sort of portioned his kibble and spread it out throughout the whole day, so he's not getting a ton of extra food, he's still staying hungry. And then I've also put some extra delicious treats mixed in there as well, so there's gonna be a few surprises coming his way. Once we've had this little training session, we're gonna pop him in his crate, and then Ken and I are gonna get some work done before we go again. You just accidentally laid on the bed. That was pretty good, but that was not really intentional. I'm gonna feed you anyways, good boy. So I also have a little toy here because we're gonna have a couple little tug breaks just to keep it active and exciting, but let's see what happens here. So I'm just gonna put this toy away. I'm gonna put this bowl behind me. I'm just gonna hold a couple treats in my hand. Okay, good boy. Now, shaping is all about the puppy guessing or choosing offering a behavior. So I'm gonna just show him some food. I'm gonna pull the food away and I'm gonna see what he does. If he goes anywhere near the bed, I'm gonna yes and reward him on the bed. Yes, good. So a little paw accidentally hit the bed there. Yes, good boy. Okay. I'm gonna pull him off and see what he does again. This is normal. He's like, okay, what do you want me to do? So if he pauses too long, I'm just gonna help him out. On your bed. Yes, good boy. Okay, good boy. On your bed. Yes, good boy. Maybe try this way. Good boy. On your bed. Yes, good boy. You'll notice I'm saying yes when his little paws touch the bed. Yes, good boy. Now, my hope here is that Drift will actually go to the bed without me having to use food, so he's thinking of it himself. But what I'm gonna do to start off, just to help him, because I don't think he's ever done this before, I'm just building value for going on the bed. So you'll notice every time he gets his cookie, he's on the bed. Oh, look at that. Somebody wants to stay on the bed. Yes, good boy. Wow, good. Okay, I'm gonna pull him off and I'm gonna see what happens here. Okay, try it. Yay, good boy. I think that might have been a little accidental, but we're gonna go with it. So I'm gonna give him a little jackpot. Good boy, now try this side. Now the reason why I'm pulling him off of the bed is because I want to give him an opportunity to try moving towards it. Yes, good boy. All I'm looking for is one little paw. Yes, we're already out of food, we gotta get more. You're doing so good, kid. Good boy. Oh, look at you staying on that bed. Yes, good for you. Okay, come on out for a sec. Good boy, okay. Yes, good boy. Wow, good. So we start conditioning the puppies to go to a mat or go to a bed. Yes, good boy. Right from the beginning, because this is one of the things that I can use a little bit later once he has a bit more training to control him in the house. If I want him to lay and be calm, yes, you're so smart. I could certainly use my crate, but as he gets a little bit more mature, a little bit more trained, whoopsie daisy, I can teach him to go and lay on his bed. Yes, but before I expect that of him, we're gonna spend a lot of time building value. Yes, for going on the bed. Okay, I'm gonna add one more element because I have a few more treats left. You're liking this, young man. I'm going to now see if I can add a little down on the bed. So all I'm gonna do is change my reward placement. So I'm gonna wait till he offers, yes, and then I'm gonna lower my hand, wait for the bum to drop, yes, and then I'm gonna reward. Good boy. Okay, good man. Yes, good boy. Wait for that bum to drop and then reward. Okay, good boy. Oh, I thought he might try. Yes, good boy. And then I can reward him. I'm gonna try one more. Good boy, you're being so good. Okay. Yes, good boy. Now, of course, the more we practice this, eventually he would learn to go in and just find that down placement all on his own, because this is, yes, this is where all the rewards are being given. Look at this, already within a couple seconds, he's offering just to lay calmly here on the bed. Now you'll notice as I'm practicing, we have our little house line on. I haven't really had to use it because he's being fully engaged with me. I've got great treats, we're doing a lot of fun things together. I'm watching him closely, interacting with him. But if for some reason, he decided just to get up and chew on the bed or go into his own thing, I could prevent him from doing that and let him know that when we're working, he has to stay focused until I release him. Okay. Hey, well done, young man. So once we're done that, I'm gonna go pop him in his crate for a little bit, maybe take him out for a pee, and then do a couple hours of work, and then we're gonna try something new. So we just finished our little bed exercise. I was about to take him outside for a pee, and he still seemed a little bit animated and interested in some of the food that I had left. So I thought I would just show you another little exercise that I like to do. A lot of you will say to us, my puppy's doing so much pulling, and our answer is usually very much the same. It's that you shouldn't be walking your puppy before you train your puppy to walk. So I'm just gonna show you a little bit of what I do to teach my puppy that walking close to me is really rewarding. Okay, buddy, so I'm just gonna basically take some food. I'm not gonna use any commands whatsoever, and I'm simply gonna yes and feed him right beside my left-hand side if he sticks with me. And I'm just gonna go up and down this hallway here. Good boy. Yes, good. So as he holds my side, yes. Yes, good. I'm gonna help him around the turn. Yes, good boy. Yes. Yes. Now, he's actually doing something really good. He's hugging my side. And when you see I'm rewarding, yes, I'm rewarding nice and close to my body. I'm gonna help him around the turn. Wow. What I don't want to do is be rewarding him out here with his head turned away, or too far in front, or too far behind. I want to make sure, yes, that I'm rewarding perfect position. Yes, okay, got one more treat. Good boy, we'll go a little longer. Yeah, good boy, good boy. Yay, good for you, okay. Amazing, amazing, good boy. Was that fun? So again, I wasn't using any type of commands. Drifty, yeah, good boy. I wasn't using any type of commands with him. I was just using praise and reward. Simply just building value for being at my left-hand side. Short and sweet, and then call it quits. Now we're gonna go outside and we're gonna go have a nap because Kale has to get some work done. Hey, good boy.
Now, if you are in a situation where you're working like an 8-hour day, it's going to be important that you get yourself a friend or a family member or a pet sitter or a dog walker to drop by and let your puppy out like mid-morning or mid-afternoon. It's unreasonable to leave your puppy alone for 8 hours at this point. It's unreasonable, certainly unreasonable, to leave them in a crate for that length of time. So having someone stop by and let them out at those a couple of times during the day is going to be really helpful for not only your house training, but also for your dog's sense that there's, they aren't going to be left alone for that great of a period of time. If that is the case for you, then you're going to take some of the exercises that we talked about in today's video and you're going to apply them to the times that you are home. Certainly meal times are going to be great training opportunities for you, but you'll just sort of have to adjust the schedule of your training to the times that you have an opportunity to work with your puppy.
During the day, Drift is going to have access to water. You'll see he's got a little water dish, and anytime we finish a training session, we'll always bring him over to get a drink. Now, this is a brand new water dish for him, and Kale just had to kind of show him where the water was. And you might experience that with your puppy home the first couple of days. Did you have a trick for that?
Yeah, I have a little trick. So if you take your puppy over and you just sort of wiggle your fingers in the water a little bit, just to draw attention. Puppies will drink after, but then you have to be really quiet. Now, I've just done it a couple times, so he probably doesn't need to have anything more to drink, but often if you just wiggle your fingers in the water for a few moments, a lot of the puppies will be curious, and then if they're thirsty, they'll go over and they'll drink a little bit, and then I usually will say, like, get a drink so that I can start to put it on a command, and then when they're drinking, I stay really still and quiet, because sometimes when you have to feed puppies, if you start to move or you start to talk, they get distracted, and now they haven't gotten their drink. But he's had a couple big drinks now, and so we'll be able to put him away for a little bit and get some work done.
Okay, little break in the day. Now, Drift has been relaxed, calm. He's been snoozing in his crate, but then he started to make a little bit of a fuss, made a couple of little squeaks. And this is gonna happen to you throughout your day as well. Now, what's really important is that you can hear your puppy make a noise, or you can see them start to fuss in their crate. Now, he's being quiet now, so now is a great time to let him out. If he were still fussing, I might say or hey or something. Just quiet him down before letting him out. But it is important. These moments are going to come up throughout the day where your puppy starts to make a noise, and now's a good opportunity to take him outside in case he has to pee.
Good boy. Good, hurry up.
It's as simple as that. And then we're gonna go back into the crate for the next little bit until we have an opportunity to train again. Something that we'll always do with puppies in their crate as we're introducing them to their crate is give them a chew toy. And now, probably because I've gotten down so close to the crate, he's really paying attention to me, but you can see that blue chew toy for him in there. It's going to be great for leaving with your dog, leaving them in their kennel for a little bit. It's a great opportunity if they do feel like they need to do something or want to do something. They can chew on that chew bone and satiate that need a little bit. You can also see, even with me down here, he was just chewing on that bone for a little bit, and now he's going to kick back and have a little bit of a snooze. So leave a chew toy in with your puppy, something that's appropriate for their age, and they'll you'll find that they'll relax in there a little more easily.
All right, so Ken and I have brought Drift outside to take a little break from work, get some puppy kisses, and do a little bit of exercising with him. Puppies do require a lot of exercise, and rather than taking him for a walk, which he doesn't know how to do yet, we're gonna play one of our favorite games called a restraint recall. And you can do this with multiple people in your family, or you can just do it on your own. We will show you both. And this is a really great exercise to exercise your puppy, for sure, for one. But it's also a great exercise to help teach your dog how to respond to their name, or the foundation training for having a recall, teaching your dog to come back. So it builds a lot of value for them moving towards you. So we're gonna show you how to play this game. We're gonna do it a bunch of times with him, tire him out a little bit, so that he can have a little snooze. And again, we don't have any crate guilt because we know we've come out and had a lot of fun with them, and we break it up multiple times throughout the day. Look at this face. Come on. Eat, kitty. Okay, ready? One, Drift, come on.
So this is a really great exercise, can burn off a ton of energy, and you can actually use food. If your dog isn't that interested in toys yet, you can still use food for this activity. But without question, having that game of tug at the end really increases the intensity for your dog.
Now, if you don't have a second person to help you with this, or maybe you just have enough time to just come out and do a couple of these little sessions by yourself with your puppy, you absolutely can do the same thing. What we're trying to do here before we call our puppy, though, is create a little bit of drive and excitement. And we're not testing our puppy's name, so I'm not waiting for him to be sniffing and then calling. I'm purposely motivating him and getting him excited before I call, so that it's 100% guaranteed that he's going to respond. Again, I'm in a teaching phase, not in a testing phase. So I have this long tug toy, so it's really easy for him to grab on. The toy that you use, if you choose to use a toy, is very, very important. It has to be easy for the dog to grab. Okay, come here, let's show this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold on to his collar, and I'm gonna tease him with the toy. You ready, set? I'm just gonna hold him back with one hand. Ready, set, oh, he's excited. And I can take off and run, and when he catches me, I can have him eat the toy. We can have a little game of tug. If he happens to let go of it, sometimes I'll just call him and run away again. Ready? Drift, 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 drift. Yeah, good boy. Clumsy puppy feet. Good, I can tug and play. And again, if I happen to get it in his mouth again, oh, he's got a good grip this time. Oh, ready? Drift! Yay, good boy. So I'm calling his name and then running away and having a ton of fun. You're gonna get tired on this exercise, and so is the puppy, which is perfect.
Now, the one thing to keep in mind, we haven't been using Drift's name a lot, but this is an example of a time when you are going to use your puppy's name, when you can help them to be successful. And you can see, imagine the response that you get from your puppy if you were consistently doing activities like this. Every time you called their name, you'd get that snappy turn, and they'd be racing in toward you because they know it's worth it.
So we just spent a little bit of time
outside in the yard working on some higher energy exercises like our restraint recall. But before we go inside and take another break, I thought it would be a good opportunity to practice some of our calmer exercises and choose to practice in a few different areas on our property just to expose them to some different distractions. Now you can hear the wind chimes making some noise in the back. There's some birds in the background as well. And I just want him to understand that even though we've changed locations, he still needs to focus. So I have some treats, I have his leash on, so I'm under control. I have some good motivators. We're just gonna do some fun, simple things together here on the porch. So I'm just gonna put my food off the side. I'm gonna get some treats, okay. I might lure some sits, good boy. Lure some downs. And again, I'm not testing my puppy, I'm teaching my puppy. I'm just using some food to motivate him. Move him over here, move him over here. Yes, look at that, listening. I might see if he'll hold a sit a little bit for me. So I'm gonna yes and feed if he maintains the sit. Yes, good sit, Drift. Good sit, good boy, good sit. Okay, yay! That was good. Oh, you little turkey, no way, no way. You gotta work for that. What do you think this is? Sit, good boy, well done. Actually, I could actually use this as a bit of a training opportunity. So I'm just gonna put the bowl here again. Good, yes. Good boy, and I might even make it a bit harder. I'm gonna hold the leash now. Oops. Yes, good. So I just stopped him from grabbing the bowl with his leash there. Yes, look at that. Wow, beautiful. Yes, okay, he's doing great. So I'm gonna go ahead and change locations. Well done, good boy. All right, guys, so I've changed locations. Now I'm at the end of the driveway, and Drift just happened to know our notice our newspaper at the end of the driveway. He's thinking about it a little bit. Good boy, yeah. So I'm just gonna reward him for sitting in a loose leash, and now I'm just gonna take an opportunity to see if he'll follow me on a loose leash. I'm gonna use my voice, I'm gonna use a bit of food to engage him. And we're gonna start learning that when we're down here at the end of the driveway, we're not gonna pull and drag, we're gonna stay focused and attentive. So I'm just gonna move a couple steps and reward him. Okay, yes, good. We practiced this inside the house earlier today. This way, a car's coming by. Yes, good boy. I can just reward him for being engaged. Yes, look at you. Good boy. Building value for that left-hand side. Wow, so good. Yay, you're so brilliant. Bring him to the front of me. Yes, well done. Good boy. Good sit. Yes, good boy. Okay, woohoo, yeah. So short little spurts. I don't want to make him work too long. He's just a baby puppy. So we're going to do short little bits, take it off and play, then try it again, maybe change locations. That was so good. But this is just conditioning him to be very comfortable with distractions around. You can see that bird still going in the background. And again, short and sweet, making each experience that we have together very positive so that we're building on success.
Now, if your puppy isn't tired out after the end of something like that, then you're not doing it right. We spent maybe 15 minutes out there with him doing a series of different exercises, really burning off that energy, burning off that mental energy as well. At this point, he's ready to go in his crate. One thing I want you to notice is that he actually has bedding in his crate. And if you watched any of our house training videos, we talk about the fact that your puppy needs to earn that. So because he's not chewing on his bed or blankets, he's not having accidents in his crate, he can have this kind of thing in there. But if you start having a problem with your house training, if you start or you're continuing to struggle with your puppy having accidents in their crate, then you need to get that bedding out of there. But for now, it's time for Drift to go in his kennel, and then we can get back to work for the next couple of hours.
So we just took Mr. Drift out for a little pee break, and Ken mentioned before about using mealtime as a great moment in the day to take advantage of the dog's natural sort of work drive. You can see he knows I'm starting to get it ready. It's almost dinner time now. It's almost dinner time for us. So I'm actually going to use this moment to do another training session with my puppy. Hold on, mister. So I'm just gonna throw in his food into his bowl here. And then I have a couple things in mind that I wanna work on. But I'm gonna get his little house line on so I have good control. Hi, young man. How's it going? Oh, you're ready. So again, I might choose to feed the rest of his food in the crate, but for now, yes. I'm gonna take this opportunity while he's hungry and he knows it's dinner time to get a couple little training sessions in. One of the things that, good boy, one of the things that I would like to work on with him is getting him comfortable with staying at the door and not running to the door when people come in. And what we've already worked on is him holding a sit. You saw us do that a little bit earlier on the porch, and he was pretty good at that. So I'm gonna take that same skill that I've already been working on and to apply it to an everyday situation where I want him to make a good choice. And again, I'm practicing this with no one coming in the door because that might be a little bit too exciting. Come here, bud. So what I'm gonna do is just take a little bit of food and I'm gonna come close to the door. I'm gonna encourage him to sit. Good boy, get it. Good boy here, sit. Good boy, sit. Yes. I'm just gonna step away from the door for a moment, sit. Good, yes, good, sit. Good, sit. Yes, good boy. And see, I'm just taking tiny little steps. Yes, good, sit. Good, sit. Yes, and I'm gonna break while we're still good. Okay, yay, good boy. And I'm just gonna condition him to be really comfortable being able to sit and not step through even I go. So if somebody comes to the door, I can train my pup to sit here and wait, or even lie down here and wait while I go and answer the door. But to begin, we're gonna start off really easy. Yes, good boy. My arms aren't long enough. Okay, sit. There we go. That's better, sit. Good, wow. Good, sit. Yes, good boy. Good, yes, and he's doing so good, so I don't actually want to push the limits any further than this. I'm gonna release him. Okay, get it. Yay! I can build distance on that, but that was an amazing start for our first try. I mentioned briefly about not wanting to push the progressions too much, and something that's important for you guys to know is that puppies learn best with small training sessions multiple times a day or multiple times a week. So it's much more important to do a very small step, make it very successful, make it really easy, rather than pushing the limits until they make a mistake. So I was very tempted to keep going with him on that exercise because he did so well, but that's not to my dog's benefit. I need to make sure I practice that same skill. I have, all day to get a couple little mini sessions in there, and then I'll be able to progress from there. So it's really, really important to remember to keep things short and sweet and build on success. Don't push things until your puppy makes an error. And with that in mind, we're actually going to take some time now to do a little bit of crate training. Now, this is a different crate that we're going to use, and I'm going to use this on purpose. Yes, good boy. Just to give Drift a bit of a different experience. He's pretty comfortable going into his own crate, so I'm going to just let him go into this one. It's also wire, so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing a little bit more easily. So I'm just going to start in by letting him go in and out of the crate, just sort of on his own, using a bit of a food lure. So I'm going to take some of his food. Here, bud. Good boy, get it. And I'm just going to put it right inside the crate. Get it. I'm not going to make him go in very far. He seems quite comfortable with that, so I'm going to go a bit further. Yes. I'm going to drop another one in. Yes. And another one. Good boy. Yes. There, you're all the way in. Look at that. Good boy. Yes. Now to let him come out, I'm going to give him permission. Okay. Yay! Now, if your puppy doesn't know what okay means, all you need to do is make sure you say okay before they actually get out. So it's kind of like, yes, good boy. There's my dog training brain for you. I didn't want to miss that opportunity. Yes, here we go. Good boy. Wow. So he went in completely on his own there. Okay. Yay! Let's see if that happens again. Oh, not on top of the crate. That's very cute. You gotta go in the crate. Yes, good boy. Good man. Look at that, it's raining kibble. Okay, yeah, good. Yes, good for you. Good boy. Now, I would say this is going very successfully. So what I can start to do when I see them, okay, good boy. When I can see that my puppy is starting to go in without any assistance, I can, okay, good boy. I can start to put it on a command. So when I see him about to go in, I can start to name it. Ready, set, kennel. Yes, good boy. Good kennel. Good boy. Now, in Ken and I's house, we nickname everything. So we actually say Ken's, which makes no sense since Ken's name is Ken, but whatever. Ready? Oops, not there. Kens, go Kens, oops. Go Kens. Yes, good. Good boy. Good, okay. Yay, excellent. So that was really great. So I could even make more progressions with him. I could do some shutting the door. I could do a couple other things, but we're gonna keep it short and sweet for now. Okay. So I am making most of this dinner. There's still lots and lots of his dinner left. So I'm gonna keep using it as an opportunity to teach him how to work for food. So I'm gonna do a little bit of trick training now, and it's probably gonna be really adorable and it's gonna be great for him to learn, but it's not so much about trick training. It's about teaching him how to learn, how to work for me, how to, you know, offer things in order to earn reward. Good boy. Because it teaches him that listening to me is a really, really good thing to do. And of course, I'm taking advantage of a moment in the day when he actually is quite excited to get the food. So we're gonna start off with a couple different tricks, and let's see how it goes. I'm feeling pretty adventurous. So I'm actually, yes, good boy. I'm actually going to try a trick called roll over. And this is one that can be very, very challenging to teach, but I'm gonna see what we can get here. This is all about how we move our hand in order to get success. Oops, there's a little bit of freebie. So we're gonna start with him in a down, which he's already done for me. I'm gonna lure him onto his side by luring his nose to his shoulders. Good boy. Good. Oh, are we gonna get it? Yay! Oh my goodness! Drifty, that was good! Let's make sure that wasn't a fluke. So I'm gonna lure him into a down. Good, I'm gonna take his nose, put it towards his shoulder. Yes, good boy. I'm gonna give him a treat for that actually. And I'm gonna lure him the rest of the way over. Yay! Good boy, okay, third time's a charm. Good boy, come here, Papa. So I'm gonna lure him down again. I'm not worrying about saying any commands at this point. Yes! Oh, we're gonna have this in no time. Yes! Good boy! Wow! Good man! Have a little play! Have a little play! He says, I wanna play with you, but I see my breakfast bowl or my dinner bowl up there. Good boy. Looks like he wants to do a few more things. Okay, still pretty interested, so we are gonna try another trick. And again, this is about teaching him to work for food, and it's also about exercising his mind. We talked a lot earlier about physically exercising them with, you know, our restraint recalls and our fun games outside. But I want to also make sure I'm tiring out his brain as well, because that's going to give me a much more relaxed puppy at the end of the day. So we're going to go on to another one. We're going to work a little bit on our Shake a Paw. I know his mom's been working a little bit on this one already, so I'm just going to use a bit of food. See if I, yes, good boy. See if I can get a lift of paw. I have rewarded him a couple times. I am doing a horrible job of keeping the treats in my hand right now. There we go. Come on, you gotta keep your bum on the carpet so you don't slip. So I'm gonna lure him again. Yes, good boy. Yes, okay, so this is going really well. So I'm gonna start to put it on a bit of a command. Shake a paw. Yes, good boy. You'll notice I say the command first and then I help him 1 second later. Shake a paw. Yes, good boy. Stay close to me though. Sit, good. Shake a paw. Yes. I don't know, I think you might be able to do this, guys. Let's see. Shake a paw. Yay! A little bit of a delayed reaction. You're thinking about it. Ready? Shake a paw. Yes! Good boy! Drifty! I'm gonna give you a little jackpot for that. Okay, we had 3 totally different little training sessions there, all with his dinner. There's still enough left that I can actually finish by feeding him in his crate. So I'm just gonna go back into the kitchen and I'm just gonna add a little bit of water to his food, and then I'm gonna pop him in his crate to let him eat the rest of his dinner in peace. So once he's done eating, we're gonna take him out, let him have a little poo break. We're gonna bring him back and put him in his crate. Ken and I are gonna make some dinner. We have a little bit more work to do afterwards, and then we'll hopefully get in 1 or 2 more little training sessions before the end of the day.
We've been moving the crate around to different locations throughout the house today, and right now is no different. I'm going to sit down. This is sort of like our sitting area, and I want Drift to be in a location where I can see what he's up to when he's in his crate, especially since this is his first night staying with us. So I'm going to put his crate right here. You can see this is just kind of our sitting area. We have couches, and I can do some work over here on my laptop, and I'll be able to see what's going on with him. If he gets up, if he fusses, I'll be able to train it. I'll be able to give him information. But this is what I want you to really think about. How can you move your puppy around with you at times when you can, dedicate time to training, where you can spend the time to help your puppy to know what the rules are and really to help them be successful. Now, he's been snoozing for the last little bit, and because I put him in a position where I could see him if he woke up, And because this is, he's in a new home and this is his first time really relaxing and snoozing in this crate, I'm gonna take advantage of this moment. Now, because I saw him get up, I'm gonna take him directly outside because I know that puppy's after a nap. I mean, we just spent the afternoon and a good part of the evening doing training, and he's had lots of access to water. But because he's being quiet, I can take him directly outside to go potty. Now, if your puppy gets up and they're making a big fuss, I might tell them, hey, you be quiet, and then praise them when they are quiet. But I'm not gonna let them out until they've sort of settled in just for a couple of moments, and then you can take them outside. But I'm not gonna miss this opportunity. So we're gonna head right outside to see if he has to go potty. So that one was a bit of a false alarm. Now, because he wasn't really indicating to go outside, it's not a big deal, but I'm gonna spend a couple of minutes outside with that puppy. But what I need to keep in mind is that because he's just gotten up from his nap, he very likely has to pee pretty soon. I'm gonna have to keep a really close eye on him. I wanna get another little short training play session in with him before it's bedtime. Now, fingers crossed, he's gonna sleep through the night. That's sort of what we've been waiting for, seeing how much energy we've burned off and seeing if he'll sleep through the night. But you know that anytime we take him out of his crate or put him in his crate, we're gonna take him outside. So I'm gonna go outside with him, but there's been a bit of a change in the weather. And it makes it harder for the puppies, some puppies to go. It's raining a little bit now, and it really sucks when you have to take your puppy out in the rain, but it's so important that you do go out with them. We need to make sure, we need to know if he pees or poos or if he doesn't. That way we'll know when we go back inside whether we need to keep a closer eye on him or not. I want him to be successful and have a pee out here. It might take a little bit of time, and that means putting on my raincoat, coming outside, and trying to help him through the process.
So one of the activities that you can do to burn off a little steam with your puppy, whether it's anytime during the day or tonight, we're doing it before we go to bed so that he sleeps more soundly, is do a little bit of toy games with your puppy. You can do some retrieving, you can play some tug. You'll notice that when I was playing tug with him, he likes to take the toy and kind of run away and play on his own. And I want to teach him that this game should involve me. So when I'm playing, I keep the house line on so that as he goes out to get the toy, I can encourage him to bring the toy right back to me. And he learns right from the beginning that when we play with these interactive toys, we're playing together. So again, I'm not going to give this to him just to go and play on his own. You'll notice even as I let him play on it right now, I have the line on and I'm encouraging him to stay close to me, and I'm paying attention. So if he starts to chew on it like this, we can take it away and then play with it, because we want to play, we don't want to chew. We want to make sure he understands that this is a play toy, not a chew toy, right? Right? Good boy. And all this activity and fun is hopefully going to stimulate him to be, after the bathroom before bed, and then have a good old snooze until morning. Hey, good boy.
Doing these high energy activities are a great way to tire your puppy out before bedtime, and I think it's something that puppy owners often overlook. It just takes a couple of minutes. He spent lots of time in his crate today and this evening, so when he's out of his crate, we need to make sure we're focusing on quality time with him. And for those of you who are struggling with a puppy who's wild and rambunctious overnight or wild and rambunctious at the witching hour, these are some great activities to do to take that edge off, to really burn some of that puppy energy off. And here's the secret that we've mentioned a couple of times today, is that it also can stimulate them having to go potty, having to go outside to pee. So if you're not sure if the puppy hasn't gone and you don't want to put them in a situation where they could make a mistake, this is a great way to do that.
I think it's also important too to teach the puppy that when they're energetic and they want to do crazy things, you should do things that are together. I'm not just giving him a toy and letting him just run around the living room and forget that I exist. We're bonding right now. We're learning that playing together is a ton of fun. So not only am I, getting some of the jitters out, we're also building a bond and making sure that he understands that playtime means that it includes me. So I just got him all fired up, playing with the toy, letting him go a little bit crazy, settle. And now what I want to be able to do is just end the night with just a little bit of relaxation in my lap. Now, somebody's not quite ready to relax quite yet, so I'm just going to hold him tight against my body. Just tell him settle. Settle. Good boy. There. He says, what is this? Don't even think about it. What is this settle thing you think of? Stop. Settle. That's better. There we go. See how his eyes softened a little bit more there? Good. Settle. Oh, okay. Okay, I think we're into this now. Good. So again, I don't have to be mean and nasty with them. I'm just gonna let him know what I want. If he goes to be nippy or biting at me or a bit too crazy, I'm just gonna tell him settle. Oops, here we go again. Settle.
Put my hand on his collar. This is also to make sure I don't get nipped in the nose. Good boy. Oh, he says, I'm very camera ready right now. Good boy. That's better, Guy. Good. When I'm holding him, I just want him to sit nice and calm. I don't want him to be biting at my face. I don't want him to be squirming. I just want him to learn to kind of hang out here and be calm and relaxed in my arms. What a good boy. No need to give any treats at this point. I'm going to use praise and affection just to keep him relaxed. And again, notice how I'm petting him. I'm not good boy and getting him all fired up. I'm praising nice and calmly. I'm stroking calmly. Good boy. Good settle.
So it's bedtime now, and Kale's just outside this drift for one last opportunity to empty his bladder or bowels so that he doesn't go overnight, having to go. One thing I want you to pay attention to, we've actually talked about moving the crate around inside your home throughout the day to make sure that you're around to give your puppy information when it's needed. But the other thing is the overnight period. Now, it's really important that I'm able to communicate with him or hear him if he starts to fuss overnight. If he starts to get unsettled, I can tell him to be quiet. And a great way to do that is to put your puppy in your bedroom. Now, this isn't a forever thing, but for their first few weeks home, until you get their nighttime routine sorted out, and until they're well potty trained and not having accidents in their crate overnight, this is a really good strategy. So I'm actually going to set this crate right beside the bed where I can almost reach it. And with him in this position, I'm able to speak with him, tell him to settle, see if he starts to fuss, even reach over and a little knock on the crate if he starts to get really noisy and fussy. And if that is the case overnight, then once he's quieted down, I can take him outside. But we've put in a lot of effort up until this point to try to make sure that he's tired. We spent short periods of time really actively engaging with the puppy to make sure that he's out of energy by the time the overnight comes. The other thing I want you to notice is that he's had access to water all day. He's had lots of opportunities to drink water. It was freely available to him because we were able to supervise him. Overnight, your puppy doesn't need water in their crate. They'll do one of two things. They'll either drink it or they might make a mess of it as they roll around in their sleep, or some puppies love to play in it. But overnight, we're not going to give Drift any water so that we know that over the course of the night, he's not going to get a full bladder. So these are a couple of strategies that are going to help you to be successful to not only more quickly crate train overnight, but also avoid some of those nasty potty accidents. So it's basically bedtime. Fingers crossed that we don't have to get up too many times, if at all, during the night. But until the morning, hey Siri, turn off the bedroom light. Just kidding. I don't have Siri attached to the bedroom light. It was actually Kale. Movie magic. Good night. And success. He did it. He went through the whole night. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning now, but he didn't make a peep overnight, and I was just so happy to be able to get a full night's sleep with the puppy just coming into our home. Now, if he had made any noise, hadn't made any fuss, I would ask him to be quiet, and then once he settled a little bit, I would have been able to take him out of his crate and then outside for a moment, let him go potty, and then bring him back inside. But I'm really, really happy. We did a lot yesterday, so I was really, really excited about the fact that he slept all the way through the night. Pretty pumped about that. And now the process goes full circle back to using some of your puppy's breakfast for their training. Now, him making it through the night wasn't the only thing we were really focused on. It was really nice to have him sleep throughout the night and not have any accidents, but what we really wanted to do over the past 24 hours is really focus on short quality periods of engagement, really teaching your puppy how to learn, but not having to let them wander about or spend the entire day trying to figure out how to do that. We're going to set our puppies up so that they can be successful, so that they can be engaged and be learning the entire time they're out with us. So now you've learned when to train. You need to know what to train. Click that card right there. It's a link to our video, the puppy training schedule by age. And it's going to be really helpful for you. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We publish new videos every single week to help you to have a well-behaved four-legged family member. On that note, I'm Ken. This is Drift. Happy training.